And these are the 3 ways financial stress can really destroy your entire life. What's up everyone, David here with Free to Be, and in today's video, I want to share with you guys 3 ways that financial stress can really adversely impact different parts of your life that we should all be aware of. You know, financial stress is not something that we have to deal with, but unfortunately, a lot of people do deal with it on a regular basis. And it does have long-lasting impacts in other aspects of our lives. And it's really important for us to be cognizant of the fact that it does have these horrible impacts on other parts of our lives so that we can try to curb that anxiety as much as possible. And if you are struggling from financial anxiety, please make sure you watch this entire video, because at the end, I'm going to tell you how you're able to turn things around for yourself, and it's really not that hard to do. Now, before I get started, as always, if you are new to my channel, I cover financial literacy here in an effort to track my progress to financial independence. And hopefully by doing that, I'm creating valuable content that others can use in their pursuit of financial independence as well. So if you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate the support. It's a completely free action to take, and it really does help promote the videos. And if you're not new, thank you for coming back. All right, so financial anxiety is something that more and more Americans have had to deal with. And honestly, people have had to deal with this all across the globe, specifically in 2020. But it's not something new. We've all dealt with financial anxiety at some point in our lives, and a majority of folks will continue feeling that anxiety that's associated with money. But what are those long-term impacts? What are the effects that this has on other parts of our lives? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So the first impact that financial anxiety has on your life is that it can lead to depression, and serious depression that lingers and lasts a long time. Because if you're constantly worried about how you're going to pay your bills, or your credit score, or your debt, or being foreclosed on for your house, you're just always going to have this anxiety in you, and that's just ultimately going to lead you to be depressed. You're going to wake up feeling this uncontrollable feeling of hopelessness, because you think that you're in this financial position that you just have no way of getting out of. But that's not true at all. You have to remember that any position that you are put in, you can get out of, specifically when it comes to finances. If somehow you ended up being $300,000 in debt, you can get out of debt. It's not a hopeless situation. It just takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of time and some effort, and you can make it happen. And the key is really to focus on the habits that got you there. If you know that you shop too much, stop shopping. If you know that you eat out too much, stop eating out a lot. If you know that you have some other bad financial habits, cut those out, identify them, and try to reverse them, and that will get you into a better financial position. And I'm not here to tell you that it's super easy to do, but if you are able to identify those bad habits, whatever dire financial situation you think you're in, you'll be able to get out of it. Because honestly, as bad as financial anxiety may seem, having to worry about depression is just so much worse. It really puts you in a position where you're just so much more hopeless than you really need to be, especially if it's related to finances. And I know that sometimes depression has external or internal components that aren't related to anything else, but if your depression is caused by finances, there's an easy solution to it. Now, the second biggest impact that financial anxiety has on our lives is that money stress and stress over finances really impact our relationship. And this is mostly true with our partners or spouses, because what's going to end up happening is that you will be in constant disagreement with your spouse, because you might be seeing certain things a certain way and they might be seeing it in another light. And that will inevitably lead to disagreements and really put a damper on your relationship. And with a lot of these relationships, money is a big part. It's not like we're all sitting on this massive amount of wealth. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck or on some kind of limited means. And when you and your partner or spouse don't see eye to eye when it comes to finances and money, it can really exacerbate and become a big problem as time goes on. So really the most important thing to do here is to understand your relationship with money, and you have to also understand your partner or spouse's perspective on money as well, and try to find some common ground so that you guys can overcome any kind of obstacles or hurdles when it comes to financial anxiety or money stress. Now, the third way that financial anxiety and money stress can impact your life in a negative way is that it could lead to poor job performance. Now, the main ways that this happens is if you're constantly worried about money, if you're constantly thinking about money and it's always on your mind, it'll distract you from doing your work at a high level. And ultimately, when your performance at work suffers, you could put yourself in a jeopardy where you lose that income, which will only compound any financial stress you already have. It can also come into play if you're constantly chasing that promotion or a higher salary, because then you're again focused on the wrong thing. You should be focused on doing your work at a high level and getting recognized for that, and that will ultimately lead to a promotion and a raise. But when you're just constantly focused on money, your work is going to suffer, people will notice, and you're going to put yourself in jeopardy of losing that stream of income. And again, ultimately what that ends up doing is just making everything worse. So when you go to work, try not to focus about money. Try to focus on your work. Try to put your best foot forward every day so that people notice. People will take notice to it eventually. It's just gonna happen. If you're putting out good work product, someone in your organization will notice, and you can then bring that to their attention if they don't notice. But if you're constantly worried about the money aspect of your job, you're just going to limit your potential. So how do you eliminate this anxiety and stress from your life? How do you avoid all of this altogether? Well, the most important thing is something that I've talked about tons of times on this channel, and that's creating a budget and sticking to that budget. Because when you have your finances under control and when you understand exactly how much money you make and how much money you spend, that's ultimately when you can reverse any bad habits you had and reverse the course of your financial independence and your financial freedom and financial stability and go the other way. You can course correct. If you create a budget and see that you've been spending $1,500 a month going out and eating, you can cut that out and start saving $1,500 a month. It's just a very simple way to make a quick and immediate change. Sit down, take some time, and create a budget. Let that be your resolution for the new year, and then you'll be able to find some good footing for yourself, start saving more, and soon enough, you'll realize that that financial anxiety is all but gone. All right, guys, well, that's all I had for this video. Have you ever dealt with financial anxiety in your life? If you have, let me know in the comments down below and let us know how you were able to overcome that. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel or haven't done so already, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below. Again, it's a completely free action to take, and it really does help support the channel, and we'll see you next time.